California dreaming about you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dunny Z Gaming channel. We're going to continue with our Cold Waters campaign today. So, I hope you enjoy this one. There we go. So, we'll just check our mission. So, Intelligent has discerned a pattern to movements of enemy at sea, replacement tankers and tenders. So, we basically need to go and sniff these guys out. So, we'll move up. We'll go north up towards the Greenland Sea. Obviously, really want to try and avoid getting spotted by enemy aircraft. My friendly aircraft should give us a little bit of warning when whereabouts these guys are. So we'll see if we can't find these guys and let them come to us. So we've got some subs moving south. And it looks like this plane's just going to fly overhead. And here we go. Here's our contact. So we're just going to drop in, let them come to us, come to a complete stop. So we minimise our detection, and there we go. We're at 50 feet. Got a sonar contact bearing 150. Our speed's 5 knots. We're close to 10,000 yards, and see if we can't engage these guys. Okay, we've got 2 contacts at the moment. Sierra 1, Sierra 2. We've rigged for ultra quiet to try and minimise the chance of us being detected. And we'll go ahead and see if we can't classify what we've got out there. So I think we're going to just upscope and just spot these guys, get the mast up, so take those up. We're at periscope depth anyway. So okay, we've got a lot of chop, so we could do just maybe going up a little bit just to get over the top of these waves, because at the moment I can't see anything. So we'll just take the buoyancy just to raise us up a little bit. There we go, we've got contact. So we've got a cannon. He's obviously escorting somebody. So who's he escorting now? There's another ship here. And that's the merchant, the Ugra. So that's our target. And then we've got another ship just here. Ship is that? That's a Krevac. Okay, so we've got a perfect solution on all 3 targets. There's no other targets around. We're not getting anything else on the SM mast or sonar, so we'll drop the scope, drop the mast, and I'm going to load missiles in and see if we can't get these guys sunk fairly quickly before we're counter detected and they know that we're here. This should be a fairly easy mission. We'll just wait for the tubes to be loaded. Obviously we've got a perfect solution on all 3 targets, so they're all visible above the water. They're all heading in our direction. Obviously at the minute there's no active sonar, so we're not detected at the moment. So we'll just creep along. We've come out of ultra quiet to load the missiles into the tubes. But we're still creeping 5 knots, so we should be fine at this range. Nearly 13,000 yards away.
Torpedo room 2-2 ready.
Just get the last of these tubes reloaded. Probably should have done this before we came in, but sometimes you may get a submarine escort as well, and if all tubes are loaded, I could mix and match them obviously, but sometimes you might need 4 missiles for 4 surface vessels. So just keep an eye on these guys. Just make sure I don't spot anything, any splashes landing anywhere near us, or look on the map for active sonar while these tubes get loaded, and then we'll go ahead and engage.
Passing 200 feet.
So I'll send 1 on each of these. They're all heading straight for us. Obviously the weapon has to go a certain distance before it activates. So there it goes. So that's all 3 weapons away. Start the tubes reloaded. All these weapons are on their way to their targets. I'll fire another one at the Ugra just to make sure. It's probably overkill. But we'll follow this missile in. This one's getting in on the cannon. Nothing he can do about that. And he's down. And the Ugra he's down as well. So that's all 3 targets taken out in quick succession. Obviously, it's only the second mission in the campaign. Again, just to get you used to the different weapon systems, and obviously spotting targets, periscope, depth we hadn't used yet. But other ships later on in the game will start to turn sort of broadside on and start using some of their anti-missile weaponry to try and take the missiles down, which I'm hoping we'll spot in a later video, so you'll be able to see that happening. So we'll just get our tubes reloaded, ready for the next engagement in the next mission. And yeah, nice bit of devastation. So yeah, no vessels, no weapons, no aircraft. So we'll leave. We've got all 3 enemies that are available in this location. So yeah, superb effort. The Admiral's happy, eliminating enemy ability to replenish their submarines at sea. So we'll wait for new orders. So there we go. We've cleared the seas, making it easier for our convoys and to operate in the area. And here's the next mission: enemy cruise missile submarine transiting southward, Norwegian Sea. So locate and sink the enemy cruise missile submarines. So we're at 50 feet. We're going to just go check on the XO and get these tubes reloaded. So that's that done, and then yeah, we'll continue on course and try and find these enemy submarines. We did spot some earlier, and here they are. So we'll move straight for them. Really don't want to be running into these guys at full speed. Obviously that's going to get us detected. So the problem is this guy's moving away, so I don't want him to get out, and he just drops back. So annoyingly we're still going at full speed nearly. So we're close to 10,000 yards anyway. Hopefully it's only one submarine. So new sonar contact bearing 166. We're at 600 feet. We're obviously tanking along, so I've no doubt he knows where we are. Noise level's a little bit high, so we may have got away with that one. So we'll change our course, see if we can't pick this guy up, and let the towed array do its thing. And we'll go a little bit deeper. We're sort of sitting in the middle in terms of depth, so I'd like to be either sort of deep, or obviously there's no layer on this in this particular area, so we can't hide above or below the layer or in the shadow zone. So bang, we've got a contact. It's only 4% solution at the minute. He looks to be directly ahead of us, so we'll go ahead and classify him. We've not got a range or speed or anything at the moment, so see if we can firm up this contact a little bit more. So he's saying his range is 5,000 yards, which is a little bit too close for comfort. So it looks like a Foxtrot, is it? No, it's a Romeo. Yeah, we'll punch that in. So our solution's gone up a little bit more with the classification, and he's a lot closer than I'd like him to be. 5,000 yards. I'll just check the distance. So I'm going to get I think we need to get a snapshot away on this guy. It looks to be moving away, so we'll get a torpedo away onto his location. See if we can't get lucky with a poor solution. We're up to 50% now, so it might not be quite as bad. It might be a lot better solution than we originally thought. It looks to be going shallow, and there we go. The torpedo's gone active. We are on active sonar as well, so it's heading straight up for him. I don't want it to go past his depth, so we've obviously got the wire should we need to use it. So I'm just going to adjust the weapon depth just so it stays sort of, looks to be where he's heading, and there you go, it's already locked him up, and he realises he's under attack, so he's gone full speed ahead and he's decapitating. We've got a perfect solution on him now, and pop, bang, pop, he pops up in front of us so we can see him. This only happens once you've got I think it's about 90% solution, you can actually visually see the target, so it gives you it's a lot easier for you to, especially if you're manually adjusting the weapon's path. And it looks to me like he's just heading straight for the surface for some reason. I don't quite know why he's made that decision, but it's irrelevant. The torpedo's going to take him out while he's doing what he's doing there. He can't avoid it. He's not going to suddenly grow wings and fly out of the sea. So he's dropped a noisemaker and a bit of a desperate effort to try and get it, but obviously I've got the wire, so I'm not going to allow the torpedo to muck around going to home in, so I'm just going to drive it on, let it reacquire, and bang, there we go, he's down. So was a Romeo, he's finished. So another relatively easy, he was on his own. By the looks of it, nobody else has come up on the sonar, and yeah, no vessels nearby, so he was alone. And there we go, enemy engaged and sunk 1. So it wasn't our mission objective, but that's another enemy submarine out of the water anywhere near us, so we're just closing on where this last guy's last location was, and he's there he is, so we'll let him come to us. Okay, so we've got a new sonar contact bearing 028, 50 feet we're at, 5 speeds, we're close to 10,000 yards. There's a weak layer at 158 feet. We've got plenty of torpedoes, we've got some mosses should we need to use them. So I'll go ahead and engage these guys.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So we've rigged for ultra quiet. It's almost flat calm, so it's going to be quiet. We've got a new contact Sierra 1, so we'll go ahead and classify this guy. So at the minute we don't know if this is going to be the submarines that we're actually looking for, but we'll classify him nonetheless, and it looks like a Foxtrot.
Passing 100 feet.
It doesn't look like we've got any other contacts at the moment. So he's just below the layer, so we'll marry up with his depth, just drop inside the shadow zone below the layer. It's a little bit more difficult to be counter detected. It looks to be close as well, 5,000 yards. He looks to be moving south towards us. Still only 40% solution, so I mean, you know, we could fire a torpedo immediately and it sails straight past wherever it is he actually is located, because our solution is not good enough. But he is, again, like the last mission, a little bit close for comfort. He's only doing 8 knots, so he's more than capable of firing a torpedo straight at us if we have been counter detected when we came onto this mission. Normally do find if we are counter detected, active sonar will be pinging on the map. You may or may not hear it in the video. That's usually an indication that they know somebody's here. When they start using active sonar, obviously it gives away their location or the direction of their location on the sonar map. It comes up as a red line that flashes up. So he is closing on our location. Solution's slightly better than it was, still at 47%. It's just rising now, 49%. So I'm thinking now we've. So he's cavitating now. So I can only presume he thinks that somebody's here. And that's why he's started to speed up, that's why he's cavitating. According to radar, sonar, his speed's still 5 knots. Well, it's dropped to 5 knots, so I'm a little bit confused now. I don't really know whether the solution is we can trust. So I can only think now that he's cavitating because he either thinks he's detected or he thinks he's under attack. But while he's cavitating and trying to go full speed, which I'm presuming what he's doing, he can't fire any torpedoes. So we should be relatively safe. The solution is coming better. We're at 60% now. So he's heading straight forward. So now at this point, I've got to send a torpedo his way. So we have got his course. He's heading 192 degrees. So we're almost due south, and straight away it looks to be like he's turning. Yeah, he's turning towards the east. He obviously realises he's under attack. And we've acquired straight away 94% solution. So it's obviously 95%, and then bang, yeah, there we go. So yeah, for some reason he's made a decision to cavitate, which has helped give away his location and give us a better solution. And yeah, I don't really understand the logic behind that, but no matter, it's another kill on the board for us. It's some tonnage, so I'll take manual control of this should he drop a noisemaker, which you no doubt will. There we go. So you can see the torpedo wants to go into to home around the noisemaker, but I'm going to steer the weapon straight onto him. This isn't our mission objective. This guy, we're looking for a different submarine, so we'll leave combat. No vessels nearby, so he's on his own as well. So that's another one. So yeah, obviously excellent initiative, but it's not our mission objective. So, and then as soon as we come back on, instantly we've got what could be our objective. New sonar contact bone 047. We're at 50 feet. Our speed's 5 knots. We're close to 10,000 yards. We'll just get this tube reloaded, and we'll enter combat. See if we can't get this done. So we've got 2 sonar contacts: Sierra 1, Sierra 2. Minute Sierra 1 looks to be the closest to the 2. 10,000 yards. We've only got 31% solution. So we'll go ahead and classify Sierra 1.
Sonar, Sierra 1 is
That looks to be an Oscar. I'm trying to think now. It was the Oscar and a Sierra we were looking for. So is Sierra 2 the Sierra we're looking for? And we know this is definitely our mission objective, and that looks pretty good. You can just see the faint lines. So we know these guys are the submarines we're looking for. So I'm just going to start changing my course, see if we can't start to get a better solution on these guys. We've got a relatively good solution on Sierra 2, even though he is further away.
Sierra 2 is cavitating.
So Sierra 2's cavitating already, so either he's really shallow and he's going a little bit too fast, or maybe counter detected. Not really sure. So we'll just keep trying to firm up our solution at the minute. I'm basically just focusing on the radar at the sonar map on the left hand side of the screen. I'm just going to try and flood out a little bit and try and get a little bit of depth. Maybe move down to 800 or 900 feet. Obviously there's no layer and there's low noise, so I'd like to be a little bit further away in terms of depth from these guys. They're sort of sitting, well, Sierra 1 is sitting around and Sierra 2 both sitting around 300 feet, so I'd like to be a little bit deeper. We're obviously still in ultra quiet and at 5 knots. So Sierra 2 looks like he's heading due west. At the moment we've got no solution in terms of course for Sierra 1, so we don't know which way he's actually heading. Whether he's heading away from our location or whether he's following Sierra 2.
Passing 600 feet.
So the solution is getting better on Sierra 2 actually. It's giving us a fairly reasonable range, and it's giving us the speed, his course and his bearing. So he's almost due north of us, and yeah, he's heading due west.
Passing 700 feet.
Yeah, Sierra 1 solution still very poor, 35%.
Passing 800 feet.
Okay, just getting past 800 feet now. Obviously we're a limit to the depth that we can go to. If we do pass test depth it will come up highlight in red. Most of the submarines on this game is around 1,000 feet. Some will go a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to head sort of more towards Sierra 2 now and just try and close that to distance a little bit. So we've levelled off at 900 feet. We're just turning, so we'll go northeast, head towards the Sierra 1 location, and obviously I'll keep Sierra 2, we'll keep eyes on him, as that solution is getting a lot better now, so I think we could have a go at a torpedo run on this guy now. And active sonar is just come up, so I think we need to get some torpedoes away against these guys and just see what happens. I can hear pinging of active sonar. So those torpedoes are away. And Sierra 2, yeah, the solution's put him a lot closer. So obviously, where I'd initially got that weapon to go active, now it's going to pass by him before it goes active. So we'll just we'll make the weapon go active now. Just drive it onto his location. There we go. So we know that's heading in the right direction. Obviously the one I fired against Sierra 1, and we've got active sonar behind us. There's a torpedo in the water. Where that's come from, I have absolutely no idea, unless that's been an airdrop torpedo. So I'm furiously now looking around for this. We're locked, so I've took it straight out of ultra quiet. We've gone to full speed ahead. I don't even know where this torpedo is. I'm furiously trying to figure out its location, and there it is, passed straight over the top of us from behind us. So I can only presume that's an airdrop torpedo. So we've broken the wires on 2 weapons. I'm not all that interested now. My main concern now is just to avoid this torpedo. Obviously we're going to be detected now. We're flying about, and obviously this torpedo's coming round. It's going to reacquire us. Here it comes. So I'm trying to get some distance in terms of depth away from it, and obviously it's still acquired us. I've dropped a sound noise maker to try and stop it from coming to our depth, but it's still locked on us. So at this point I'm going to try and go deep, and then it's lost its lock, but it looks like it's still heading straight for us. Obviously we're cavitating, we're going full speed in. Not quite the depth of water we need to stop the cavitation. Okay, we're not cavitating anymore. I'm going to try and turn away from this torpedo. It looks to be following us down, and it's trying to search for us again. I'm just going to out-turn the weapon, and yeah, it's lost its lock. So it's going to go into another search pattern now to try and find us.
Passing 600 feet.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Passing 400 feet. Passing 300 feet.
So it looks to have gone off behind us, and is now performing a circular search. So I dropped the speed right back down. There we go, we've got a hit on Sierra 2. So he's obviously gone straight for the surface and ate a torpedo. And this weapon behind us looks still to be searching, so it's not acquired us. So we should be okay. I'm just trying to get the camera so that you guys can see it. There it is. And yeah, it's run out of fuel and detonated, so that's that weapons, well, the risk of getting sunk over. And our original torpedo doesn't look too bad on what solution we've got, which is only 14% on the Sierra 1. But by the looks of it, that torpedo has passed wherever its sonar have got him and has missed. Obviously I've got no weapon data because we lost a wire trying to avoid that torpedo. Had we have kept the wire and not been trying to dodge torpedoes, we might have been able to steer this weapon onto its current location and get him sunk. So by the looks of it, we're going to have to put another torpedo in the water, and that's just something you have to bear in mind in this game. Whenever you've got a limited amount of weapons to use, so you don't want to be just spamming torpedoes in every direction, because otherwise you're going to spend half the game going backwards and forwards to base. You need to be a little bit tight with them and only really fire them if you've got a fairly good solution, or you can obviously keep the wire so you can move the torpedo. But at the moment, I think up till now we were 1 for 1 anyway, so it's not the end of the world. We have got plenty still in stock in the submarine, so we'll turn back towards where he looks to be heading. He looks to be heading northeast, and we'll see if we can't get a torpedo to chase this guy down. And there it goes. So we'll take the speed, taking the speed up to 10 knots now. And we'll let this weapon do its thing. And try and chase down this guy. And see if we can't get this mission finished.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
So at the minute his range looks like he's 21,000 yards. Obviously the torpedo's chasing him and it will be going faster than he can, but it's going to take a bit of time for that torpedo to catch up. So as you can see, we've kept the wire, so we've got weapon data. So it tells you the course and the range from us, the weapons bearing, and the TTR is basically the total remaining fuel, so the time we've got left before that weapon runs out of fuel and detonates. You can see that in the bottom left hand corner. Yeah, so he looks to be moving away. And his icon is obviously moving on the sonar map away from our location. And we're still only at 40%, so I mean that could change. We've got 8 minutes of fuel left on this weapon, so it may well be close if he is at that distance, or even further he could well be. And he's dropped a noisemaker. We've detected a noisemaker. So the weapon's gone active. I'm going to compress a little bit of time here, just so we don't have to sit and wait for this weapon to get to him. So I'm going to let it run to where his location was, and then just steer it on to his last known location on the map. So we've regained contact, but now it's... Oh, he's absolutely miles away, so... Yeah, obviously it was 21% solution. He's never going to be 50,000 yards away, unless the original solution we had was nonsense. So I mean, sonar room needs to do a little bit of a better job, but this weapon is starting to get a signal off something, which it can only be this Oscar. So he's on the sort of outskirts of the nose of the weapon's homing cone, somewhere there. He's going to be right in front of us, and bang, he is in front of us. There he is. So yeah, we've got instantly a 95% solution, because obviously we're getting the weapon data back down the wire. So we've got 3 minutes left on this torpedo. I'm not going to rock around, I just want to get this guy sunk now. He's bobbing up and down all over the place on sonar for the duration of this mission. He is obviously one of the objective submarines to sink, so he's done a good job of evading us anyway. So he's dropped a noisemaker. I'm not having any of that. We're just going to manually get his torpedo onto him.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
And there we go.
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing.
So that's the end of him. So we've got our 2 contacts, no vessels nearby, no weapons, and no aircraft. And down he goes. So we'll go ahead and leave cam button. Yet they were the only 2 ones here. We've got both of them. So yeah, the Admiral's happy. He's happy. We've got both ships. And wait further orders. And oh, a bronze star to Commander Donny. well, we like a bit of bling, so we'll have that. Self-sacrificing devotion to duty in the face of death. Well, we were close to that. Unexpected torpedo coming from nowhere. So, as always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll continue the campaign in the next video. Obviously, any advice, comments, obviously like and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, as always, any comments to make the video and the content better, or any help is always appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next one.